he was saying that his team never roaches when he like calls for it. And he didn't once like just go into the pit and start hitting that shit. And that was my advice to him. Like, your in-game body language speaks. Honestly, more than like your pings and chat wheels and like voice comms. Welcome to the Dota Club podcast.
Yes.
I'm here with the Pine Cone, and we're back, more consistent than ever. I'm doing a daily video sprint with my YouTube, the podcast. Big announcement. It's going to be on Spotify and Apple Music going forward. So we're going hard in the paint. And I'm here with the Pine Cone himself. What's up?
I'm the Pine Cone. It's going great. I'm feeling the Dota love. I'm feeling the vibes. I'm feeling the Dota music.
Off now.
Okay,
We're back.
Never mind. I'm not feeling anything.
Yeah,
I guess.
You feeling the Dota love?
I am feeling the Dota love, actually.
Why?
I'm feeling I'm also feeling the community love right now. Because you're on your video sprint, which has been pretty successful. And I feel like the community is like more live than ever.
Yeah,
it's really become self-sustaining, where like people are, learning for themselves in the Discord and like giving each other advice and like parsing that information.
Yeah,
so it's really
cool.
I
see people recycling advice that we've given them in the past. Like, developer said something crazy the other day. He goes, like, somebody new was talking about lane, and developer knows everyone knows the lane sauce is to get nice at creep aggro. Which I thought was just like
knows
perfect.
the lane sauce. Yeah, no,
which he's like, he hit that right on the head. Like, that is the lane sauce in general.
That is the lane sauce.
And I like how he phrased it. Like, get nice at it. He didn't actually say get nice at it, but that was like the message of what he said. Because you don't just like do it and then you're good at it. It's something that you always like strive to get better at. And the pros are doing it at a level that like I'm not doing it at. And it's just a spectrum going all the way up. Like, we should both talk about our relationship to creep aggro.
Our relationship to creep aggro.
Like, I can start if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that I subconsciously aggro a lot, which is really good for carry. But I think recently I've been like aggroing more when I want to aggro and not just like spamming it. Because I think the default, like, there are steps to learning it, and the default is, or like the first step is you just spam it and you do it when you shouldn't. And I think I was there for a while, but within the last like year, and it's funny because a lot of this I feel like just came from like me doing it so much to where like aggroing feels like second nature. Now I'm intentionally not aggroing if like I want to be aggressive on some waves, and I'm really comfortable like aggroing waves in and out of the tower. And just like the way that I feel it, it's like the better I am at aggro, the better I am at manipulating the creep wave and creating situations for myself that I want, like manipulating the wave so I have the situation that I want. And the nice thing about our MMR right now, mid 8K, is that other people don't do that on the level that I'm doing. So I feel like I just have like this playground with the creeps, and I can like test and put myself in situations that I want, and seeing like validating if that idea is good. I think I just verbalized a lot of what I do subconsciously, and it was kind of glazed. I don't really know what I can improve on. What about you? What do you think? What's your relationship with creep aggro?
And this relates to any Dota skill that you're improving at. It's just interesting because it fluctuates so hard, where for any Dota skill that I'm learning, I feel like a huge difficulty is sometimes I feel like I'm done learning a skill, or I've added it to my repertoire, and then you'll stop doing it, right? To a certain extent, or like as well. So for creep aggro, I think I went through a similar journey with it, where at first I was spamming it a lot, which is really good. Like when you're low MR and you spam creep aggro a lot, you just become like unkillable.
That's much more correct than not doing it enough.
Yeah. So that started, and then I also had the same realization that like there are times where you want to do it and times where you don't want to do it. So I stopped doing it as much, and I think I overcorrect in that sense, where now I don't think I'm creep aggroing enough. And I'm aware of situations where you don't want to creep aggro, and maybe you want to, like, for example, like on Tiny, maybe on, and also I think that middle lane, like aggro works slightly differently than side lanes.
Yeah, it's really different for mid and sides. Mid, you're using it a lot more to like bait CS stuff because it's like 1v1. I think CSing on the side lane is just easier.
Yeah,
in
I
general.
had a phase where I was really seeing creep aggro for like the tool that it is, where basically I realized that because creep aggro exists, you can choose exactly when creeps die. Not just like, oh, like I stop them from dying, but I can choose which creep is dying, right? Because I can like aggro creeps to certain creeps and like
Yeah.
de-aggro them and like select which creeps I want to die.
Okay. I think you're overcooking. Like, I don't think.
No,
At
this
least
is true though.
I don't feel like many. I don't think you can control the specific creep like to that amount of precision.
I can literally aggro the
in a
melees
side
to a
lane.
melee and then aggro off and put it on the melee creep, right? Like I'm just in theory. I don't think that this is
I don't think you're doing this. Is my point.
Yeah, I didn't say I was doing this. I was saying that this.
I also know. I don't. I feel like I don't know if pros are doing this with like specific creeps.
I don't think that. I'm not saying that they're like just fucking cooking this shit 24/7 and like this is the sauce on creep aggro. My point is that you can lane way more intentionally, where you're not just passively waiting for creeps to die. You're actively creating situations you can take advantage of.
Yeah.
Like that is more about
I
the
agree
mental.
with that.
I don't think that like he's like now this creep dies right now.
Yeah, no,
now
exactly. That's what
like,
I think you communicated before. So
yeah,
maybe that wasn't like what you meant.
My point is that is literally possible. So you can just be way more actively minded in lane and like select or like and be creating situations to take advantage of. But back to like my relationship with creep aggro. Right now, I think I've not been aggroing enough. And another thing that I want to work on in particular is we watched a Quinn replay, and every single melee creep that was low, he would aggro to last hit it, right?
Ooh, yeah. We should name
really,
that
really
concept. Good. We have before. I call it the alley-oop. Like
yeah,
in basketball.
The alley-oop is the alley-oop's a great gaming concepts is so good. Jesus Christ.
So even like for myself, like naming it has made me do it more.
Yeah.
That's something that I want to practice in the training polygon. And do you want to like explain what it is clearly for the people?
Yeah,
I could do it too.
Yeah, so what the alley-oop is let's say a creep is dying and it's about to be last hittable. As it's becoming last hittable, you draw aggro, so the melee creep runs right into your loving arms and you last hit that shit.
Yeah, and the reason I call it the alley-oop is because it's so smooth before you finish. Like, it should be a fluid motion. Like the creep comes to you just like the alley-oop, the pass
as it's dying, like right as it dies,
as you like finish the basketball shot,
and then your Ember Spirit and just
exactly. And you were gonna say the benefit. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, the benefit for a lot of reasons is the creep's coming to you and it's going away from the opponent so they can't contest it as well.
Yeah, that's the main benefit.
If they're melee, it's like literally running away from them and they're not going to be in range / they have to chase it and overextend. And if they're range, their auto attack has to fly further. One sec.
Yeah, ban Sophia, bro.
Yeah, Sophia has been banned. Sorry, Sophia.
Yeah, that's the main reason is because the enemy can't contest it. It makes it like secures the CS for you, and it's really insightful because Quinn does this better than other pros, where he's like doing every creep. Yeah, I think that is like the textbook proper way to CS is like the alley oop every time.
Sophia got last hit. It was a little aggro to
Grady, you're funny, man.
Little alley oop.
No, now we're mind controlled by chat.
Sorry.
Funny of a comment.
No, that comment's crazy.
I think she was into you, bro. All right, now we're gonna talk about your relationship with the women.
No, okay, let's go back to talking about the alley-oop. Thanks. But so that's something that I really want to work on, and honestly, I haven't been. And I've noticed that I could do it
more on side lanes and mid.
Yeah, and there's some heroes that are really important on. So someone I was thinking of is Invoker, right? Because I've been playing Invoker. And Invoker's lane is just so terrible. It's terrible. And a reason why it's so terrible is that this guy has like 50 damage level 1. So if you're going to be 50-50 on a creep with the opponent mid, like realistically, you just have like a pretty terrible chance to get the creep. So you have to be alley-ooping these creeps and pulling them out of range of the guy and making it difficult for them to last hit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing I want to work on.
I think it's good.
Like, I saw a nice question, and this relates to what we're talking about, which is if you're stronger, shouldn't you not creep aggro to range?
Yeah. Wait, you keep talking. I need to fix something.
Sure. So the question was, damn, camera off. I'm alone now. But in mid, shouldn't it be if you're stronger, you don't creep aggro to range? See, it depends, as a lot of things in Dota, and that sucks because like it's much easier to just like condense something into like a formula like never aggro if you're stronger. But you can take advantage of aggroing if you're stronger. Let's say I'm Ember against Storm and I'm winning lane, okay? And I have like 2 points Flame Guard. This is like level 3. I could aggro to ranged, or I do this level 1 too, where you can aggro to ranged, and now this Storm's like, okay, the range creep is dying. I'm going to need to walk up and like auto remnant it. And then when he walks forward, you just turn on your Flame Guard and aggro off the creep and hit him, right? And then now the creep is just like chilling at half HP. Like this is what I mean by you can select when it dies. Like as a ranged hero, you don't want to be down in the river just like tanking and trading auto attacks with a melee hero, right? Because he has an 8 damage block. So I can orchestrate a situation where I aggro to ranged and he feels pressured to like walk down into the river and try to last hit. And then I can just pull aggro off the range so it stops dying. And then he needs to either back up and then I can go for a deny, or commit and like auto it twice into a remnant, and I can just like turn on Flame Guard and hit him like 3 times. So it's not quite as simple as like don't creep aggro to ranged. Now, when levels get higher, people are going to have a higher level nuke, so they can just nuke it. So it just changes from like wave to wave. It's just a tool that you have to use, and it's pretty complicated sometimes. But if a hero like doesn't have like a way to secure ranged, this is more relevant to the side lanes because a lot of mid laners have nukes. Then you can definitely abuse that, and you can really jail people. I think have we discussed like jailing people on creeps before?
I don't think so. I don't even know 100% what you mean by that.
Like it's the situation I just discussed with the Storm. Like what happens is, let's say I draw, this is level 1, I draw aggro to my range creep and it gets to half HP and he runs down into the river to try to like auto remnant it after it takes a little more damage.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. I can infinitely pull aggro off of this rage creep and let it never die. So, but it is deniable. It's below half. So in that sense, the Storm is jailed to that range creep.
Yeah, that's a really good concept.
Yeah.
It's a liability to him.
Exactly. It's a liability. Either because if he wants the range creep, he has to stay nearby enough that if I hit the range creep twice, he's there to like last hit it.
Yeah.
So in that sense, he's jailed to the range creep. That's
a good segue to talk about. Good rant, by the way. I turn my camera off and bro's just like.
I always can.
I feel like you could make like Pine yap to like study to, and you could just like talk about aggro for like 2 hours. Like
it would literally just be like 2 hours, and it would fade into
something.
The background. Like lo-fi Pine to study to.
Yeah, I want to thank What Did You Learn in the chat for the glaze. Really appreciate it. One of the best content creators in a long time. Love all the support. Yeah, thank you. That means a lot, and it goes a long way for me. So okay, this idea that. And this is like zooming out a little bit of the idea that the one creep is a liability. Like the creeps in general in the lane, the better I get at Dota, the more I'm starting to view them as like, it's the objective of the lane. And so if the enemy creeps are up, you are like liable to last hitting them.
You have an obligation as well.
So
is another way to look at it.
If you push the wave an obligation, that's a good way to put it too. So if you push yeah, I mean, we've used that wording before and we talk about it. So if you push the wave fast, like you are free of that obligation for the next 15 seconds. And you can do other things like harass the enemy or, I don't know, stack a jungle camp or something like that. And you can literally view it like if the creeps are dead, you are like free to do whatever you want and go have impact in the game elsewhere. But if it takes the creeps a long time to die, then you're like jailing yourself.
That's also, you know what that reminds me of actually, is that there was a discussion in Disc that was kind of related to this, where they were talking about Kunkka itemization, and someone said Kunkka has Tidebringer, so he doesn't really need to. It was like a Kunkka like scientist post where they were talking about how Kunkka doesn't actually need like any farming items because he has Tidebringer.
Really? Somebody said that?
Yeah, he was like, you don't need Blade Mail and Radiance because you already like farm, you just like kill shit with Tidebringer. Was it Red Sea?
It was Red Sea.
Sorry, Red Sea. No. But it's a great, because like there's, I understand the sentiment because it's true. You do farm stuff with Tidebringer, but the other stuff makes you farm faster. And what that does, even though it seems like, oh, he's buying all these items just to farm, farming faster frees you up to play Dota, right? Like that is the point.
That's how it can relate. That's good.
The creeps are an obligation, and the faster that you can kill creeps, the faster that you can move on to playing some fucking Dota too.
That's one reason why it's good. I also want to say, like, we're all here to learn, guys. Even if it like seems like we react like personally, like
you don't need to be sorry.
I really like you, Renzi. Yeah, because I understand the sentiment as well.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, that's something I didn't say. Like Tidebringer does help you farm. So
Yeah,
it
it's
is a
true.
valid thought to think like,
That shit ain't that fast though.
yeah, that's
It
the
ain't
thing
that
is
fast.
it's just not
It's not
fast
that
enough.
fast. Yeah, exactly.
So
If you go up to an ancient camp level 7 with Tidebringer, you know that shit ain't fast. Like, yeah,
yeah.
will take you like a
And
minute.
what I like about you two, Renzi, is that like you're willing to learn. So like
Yeah, you're very
some
active.
people will
That's
come
good.
to the science lab and like just not be willing to learn. Yeah, we're here to keep each other accountable, including like you
Exactly.
guys to us.
Yeah,
But
100%.
they'll come into the science lab and they will like they'll think they're arguing and they'll want to like
They want to win
won't
the
be
conversation.
willing to change their point of view. They
Yeah.
won't be willing to change like what
They're
they
not there
think
to
about
learn,
their
just realistically.
science build. They're not there to like accept, know why something's bad.
They're not there to learn, they're there to preach. And like that's just not what it's
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah. We're all
Because
here to learn.
95% of the time, if a pro or if something was good, like a pro would be doing it. Because the way that
Okay,
I look
I
at
need to
it,
talk on that actually.
yeah. So we could talk about that. The way that I look at it, so I feel like, I mean, I know what you're gonna say, so I'm not gonna like take that point from you. But oh, what was it? Oh yeah, okay. So I took economics classes in college, right? And I think I have a solid understanding of microeconomics. And when there are millions of dollars on the line, like people are gonna do a really, really, really good job at like whatever they're doing when there's literally millions of dollars on the line. And if something was good, a pro would 100% be doing it. Like somebody on their team who's getting paid money would be like looking into it, like cooking with it. And it's just very rare that like if something is good, a pro is
like
not already
very rare.
doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like more rare than people
Because like
think.
what are the odds that you just like stumble upon like this was actually broken and like it just slipped the minds of like all these people who are being paid to like think about Dota
these
for
players are also
16 hours.
Dota geniuses. But the
Yeah.
other thing is that people underestimate the gap between themselves and pros. Like
This is a
especially in
great point.
unranked immortal. Like the pros are just geniuses of the game, to be honest, and they're really like on another level.
I've been there too, where I remember when I first hit Immortal, I'm like, there it is, baby. Like we made it. I didn't think this actually because I'm not fucking like this brain dead. But like there's a part of you that believes like you get the Immortal badge and the rest of the ranks is just Immortal. And you're like, yo, like we're on the way up low key right now. And it's like, yeah, I'm 5K and the top pro in the world is like 16K. Like, and climbing through that like 10K, 11K MMR from 5K to 16K is like infinitely harder than climbing from 0 to 5K. 0 to 5K, you like turn on your monitor, right? And then like 5K to 16K, you like see into the fucking ether, as in you like do the basic stuff. And
Yeah.
like, yeah. But
I do think that the immortal badge should be like you should get it at like 8.5K. I feel like
yeah.
Valve needs to like add another rank or something like that.
Yeah, no, because it's actually just greasy that people like get to immortal. They think they're like even close to the pros. Like,
yeah, and that's what a lot of people think who like we party with an unranked, and like a lot of what we experience in these unranked parties is just like really disgusting.
Like, because if we're talking about 5K to 15K, so the difference between me and a pro is double me and a herald MMR wise. So it's double the difference between me and a herald, plus all the knowledge that it takes to go from 5K to 15K is way more difficult and nuanced than what it takes to climb from herald, right? So realistically, this person is leagues beyond 2 times more than me, the difference between me and a herald. Like the gap is like gigantic.
Yeah.
It's just
I
not even
actually
close.
think these days, like for example, if you take 8 and 9K, bros got triple your
bodies is just, I mean, what? My moderator is typing what?
But I think like do 5.5K immortals look like bots? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Straight bot lobbies. But
My teammates look like bots.
yeah. Okay, I
Like,
think there's been a lot
unironically.
of MMR inflation, so like I think 8K and 9K are like the same right now. Like just to take those two like arbitrary numbers. Like I don't. Do you feel a difference between our 7K games and our 8K games? Because they feel
No,
the exact
not at all.
same.
It's the same exact thing.
So I
Everyone
feel
just
like there's
sucks.
but for example, like when I am coaching people and I look at like Guardian versus Crusader games, like I do see a difference, like tangibly. I just think there's so much like inflation, specifically beyond 7K. So a lot of it just
because
feels
I think that's
insane.
where a lot of like the trading and stuff, not to like
Yeah.
incept the community with that, but I think like the double downs really affected like the Immortal Plus bracket where like a lot of people got like super inflated to weird ranks and like there's like some boosting going on there and stuff like that and like trading. So yeah, I agree. I don't see any difference between like the only difference, and this doesn't relate to like being 7K or 8K, is like in 8K, it's like every like 200 games, like one guy has hands. Like that's about it. But like I don't think that like relates to like there's no like tangible difference between the ranks for sure.
I think it was the same in 7K though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think it makes a difference.
That's weird. Like it literally
I
feels
want to tie it back really quick because I had something to say about respecting the pros, because it really is. I want to emphasize this. It's a plague on the Dota community that people disrespect the pros and how good they are and think and like overestimate their capability and how close
I
they are to
really
being
agree with
It's
this. It is a plague on the Dota
right?
community.
I find this mentality.
You should tell the anecdote about the person telling you to think for yourself.
No, that's what I'm going to talk about. That's what I'm going to talk about. Jesus. But like I just want to share this because in particular, when I say it's a plague, my point is that I think this is the norm in the Dota community, is that people actually think that they have like are somewhat close to pros, or even if they're not close to pros in skill, like they're held back. Because I know a lot of people who say like they would be immortal if they just played as much as like other people, but it's like you're underestimating like all the improvement that you would do by like playing that, right? Anyways, so I have an anecdote. Yeah, so I have an anecdote. Recently we played some 5-stack norms, and I'm playing Enchantress. I wanted to learn Enchantress. And I did my due diligence. I watched a Celery replay. I looked at Pro Tracker. I looked at all his games and what he did. I looked at all of another pros games and what they did. So I got their different ideas. And we're against Quap carry and Ember mid, and we're getting just stomped. Okay. And then at like 20 minutes, I'm in Discord, or like 25 minutes, and someone tells me I should build Aghanim Scepter on Ench. In the first game, they told me this too, but this was the second
I also
game.
generally don't like backseating.
Like I'm just getting like backseated by this random person, and and it's fine. Like you can share your opinion, it's cool. But then I just said like, I was looking at that, but there's not a single Aghanim Scepter on Pro Tracker. So I just don't
with only the pros, not just like
only the
7
pros.
to 8.5.
And so I was like, I don't think it looks strong. And they go, yeah, but sometimes you just need to think for yourself. And that comment is just fucking awful, dude. No, I don't need to, actually. Here, it's two things. First off, I don't need to. All right, I'm going to look at Pro Tracker and like copy what they do. Second off, I am thinking for myself, okay? Because I'm looking at Pro Tracker to inform my opinion. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking Ags fucking sucks dick.
If Ags was good, people would be building it.
Exactly.
Somebody would build it once.
And I didn't understand the Ags. So honestly, I couldn't like go off on this person, nor should I have, about like why it sucks. But then I found one game with Ags on Pro Tracker. Because after the game, I'm a student of Dota. I want to know, like, was Ags actually the right choice? So I go find the only Ag Scepter game. And the reason they thought I should build Ags is it's a root against Ember and Quap. Okay, that's the logic. And then I check the game where there's an Ags. It's against Lycan and Beastmaster. Okay. And then I read the Aghanim Scepter. It's a 2-second root plus 0.5 seconds for each additional creep in the like Winter's Curse. I guess I should explain what Enchags is. It's just like a Winter's Curse, but for like creeps. So all the creeps around you start hitting you. So the reality
that you've been talking for a long time.
Sorry. Okay, so it's Winter's Curse for creeps. You get it against Summon's Hero, and this person is just ill and misinformed, and telling me that I should get it to root Quap. And then so this person like needs to humble themselves and learn from the pros, because I said like, no, I'm just looking at Pro Tracker and I want to learn that way, and it doesn't look good. And they really hit me with you need to think for yourself, which is just like the common sentiment in the Dota community and fucking vile. Like
it's just because the subtext is they think they know better than the pros. That's the subtext.
And they're like, damn, like
it's their opinion is better than the pros.
And I'm looking at Pro Tracker games, and Celery is against Storm Quap, and he's not building the Ags. So why the fuck should I build it in this game for the root? Like it just is terrible.
It's not good.
Terrible. But
I mean, to be clear, I think thinking for yourself is like also good, and you shouldn't just like blindly copy, but you should understand what the pros are doing, and you should definitely not think that you know better than the pros.
You should build your understanding from what the pros do. You're still thinking for yourself, but like if it was good in certain situations against mobile heroes, then a pro would be building it in certain situations against mobile heroes, and I could see that shit.
It's also okay to like have different builds. I also don't think you're just saying this is like you need to copy the pros. Like
No,
People play
definitely
Dota
not,
for
but
different reasons, and I think that you can win a lot if you have your own like build, whatever. Like as long as I always tell my coaching students this, like you just need to play to what your items do. Like if you
yeah.
build a farming item, like go farm, or if you build like the Ench Ags, like I'm sure it would have been fine. I don't think it would have been horrible, right? But it was like
Yeah, I think it
not
would have
the
been chill.
objectively right play. But you want
Yeah,
to play
I
like
didn't want to
use a
fucking Ench
mobile
Ags.
hero.
I didn't
Yeah.
think it was my job to like catch Ember Spirit as Ench, right? Like
I
that's just
mean,
not my
that game
job.
we just had. We can talk about these like little piss boy drafts too, because I feel like this is a theme.
No,
Oh,
this
dude,
is
the
a great
draft.
topic. No, this
So
is a great topic.
yeah, no, it is. So I'm on
This
Life
is
Stealer. All right, and I'm the only useful hero on my team.
okay.
Let's
Let's not
go
go that
through.
far.
Let's go through my other roles. Was it Wind Ranger Core?
It was Wind Ranger 3
Wind Ranger Core, Marana
Who-
support, 2 squishy ranged bastards, Zeus
Yeah.
mid, another squishy ranged bastard.
with only
Who's-
damage.
Who's the
And
five?
I was
Oh,
Ench. I was
You were
Ench.
Ench. So like,
Okay.
if
It's
we
Life
look at
Stealer
what
and
this
4
draft does,
useless
this draft
bastards.
does nothing. Everyone else is useless. I'm just
Well,
like going in and there's like nothing else happening.
No, actually,
Nobody
here's
can
what I've
do
been
anything.
here's what I've been understanding about drafts, and it's interesting because in these bad draft games, everyone get really frustrated. Something I want to work on is starting with the point and then explaining it, because I always explain it and then get to the point at the end, and I think that's a terrible way to explain
Yeah,
things.
you know what it is that's just not engaging.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. Okay. So the point I'm going to make is that for a draft to be good, a key thing that a lot of drafts are missing is that when you approach a fight, you have easy ways to do things. And by do things, I mean like you got some slight chains, you got some blink dagger guy, you got some spells you can throw that
Like
do something.
straightforward power.
Like what is not easy to do? Walk up and hit raw Marana arrow, right?
Or
If
like
that is
even shackle into Marana Arrow is hard to do because Wind Ranger doesn't like want to be getting
yeah,
in there first.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't
Wind
want to be
Ranger is not like the hero that goes first, right? Like, so that's what I mean by like drafts that can do stuff is that like when you approach a fight, you have like nice spells to like throw. That's it.
Yeah, I like
right?
framing it as straightforward power.
Yeah, it's not just power, no, because like Marana arrow is good, right? Or
But that's
shackle
not
is
straightforward because you need setup for the arrow, so that makes the arrow like not super straightforward.
yeah, but if you had like axe call into arrow, then the arrow has a lot of straightforward
Yeah,
power.
so
Is my point.
the call makes it straightforward.
My point is like
Those two together are straightforward.
to use like a fighting game term is that in the neutral, and the neutral is before the fight starts, right? So when we're both just kind of like chilling in position, you need spells that you can use in the neutral that are easy to use, right? I think that's a big point.
I don't think anybody's gonna know it. I don't really know. I know like the idea, but I don't get the analogy. But maybe like some.
It just means neutral means like before the engagement starts, right? So like that's like why it's neutral. But you need some spells that are like casual and easy to use and like straightforward.
Dota actually feels the best these days when you have casual initiation and then like hardcore counter initiation. So it's like, you know, a slight chains hook to initiate and then like the echo slam counter initiate like after that from your team.
And we had another game like this where I was Invoker mid and we had probably, I think you were the melee, and we had 4 ranged heroes with no stuns and Exort Invoker mid. Okay. And
Spectre?
Yeah, I think you're a Spectre.
Or was that the primal? No, yeah. I think
everyone on our team is getting really frustrated and like complaining, and it's like, dude, we can't make any moves and everyone's AFK. And it's just funny because the reason why we're all frustrated is because, guys, our draft fucking sucks. We can't do anything.
No, what
like,
annoyed
it's not
me
our
too
fault,
is
man,
like,
guys. It's not our fault.
the players we were playing with, some of them, Shredder, if you're watching this, you are excused. But the other players we were playing with, like, I could tell that they did not feel that. Like, it is just such a fat draft gap. Our draft
is unplayable.
I felt like people were
Shredder
getting
didn't tell me to
frustrated
feel
at me. Oh, we got a Shredder enjoyer here.
We got a Shredder enjoyer.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, like I just want to like it was a draft gap, and some of the people in my party didn't realize that, and I feel like they were getting frustrated at like me I feel like they were taking out their frustration on me for like something that was not.
We can't do anything, dude. Our heroes suck.
Like, at all.
Which is not. It's not supposed to be cope. But my point is more that it's just like our heroes are just like they just don't synergize. They're not easy to play together. Like, what do we do?
What is this comment? How did you party with him anyway?
It was a normal game.
It's my homie, bro.
Yeah, it's our boy. It was just a normal game. But yeah, and you know what this relates to that I think is really important as well is people getting really, really frustrated in hard games. And I mean, I do this too. But you'll lose 3 lanes and lose all your tier 1 towers, and everyone's getting so angry. Like, why can't we just make a move and do something? Because it's fucking impossible, dude. It's hard. Like, our whole map is dark. They have wards everywhere. It's not supposed to be easy. It's the same thing when you're playing Mirana with no other stuns on your team. Like, this shit is not easy, guys. It's just not easy. Our fucking tools suck.
Because there's irony too, because the players who get frustrated, like they're frustrated because they don't understand what we actually need to do. And like me and you are like playing with like that nuance of understanding like what we actually need to do. And the other players just want to like do a straightforward move, which doesn't work like in those situations.
Like, can we just run here and gank this guy? And then like there's a fucking Mirana arrow like flying in and the guy just dodges it. And there's 5 of us just watching the Mirana arrow miss. And it's like, this is why we weren't doing this shit, right? Because our draft fucking sucks, guys.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we mad at each other? It's not our faults. Like, we picked the worst heroes ever. But
dude,
I think
really,
yeah.
No, you can wrap it up if you want.
I'm done. No. Go ahead.
Is Shredder a celebrity?
Yeah, is Shredder a celebrity? No, he's we just know him from like.
Curious how you know him.
He's a cool guy.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I've been playing a lot of Troll Warlord recently and really enjoying it. He feels Troll like is a really good feel. He feels really satisfying to play because he moves really fast and you're like switching between melee and ranged and the noise.
He's buttery.
So crisp. Yeah, it feels buttery. That's the word I used when I was talking to you about it yesterday off camera. It's interesting because I'm not forcing it. Like I just played a troll game a few days ago and I really enjoyed it. And now I'm like pursuing it more. And I feel like a lot of times when I try to learn new heroes, I try to force it and it doesn't necessarily fit. So this like authentic way of finding another hero for me, I really like. I want to re-emphasize this point. We talked about this off camera and I'm not an advocate of like pretending like we didn't talk about it off camera. So like full disclosure, like we already talked about it, but I just want to re-emphasize this for me is like playing Dota and putting emphasis on every game and like making sure you actually want to play and that you're giving it your all. Like passively playing Dota is just fucking ass. I just want to tell everybody that. Like I enjoy the game so much more when I am playing with intention. I want to play troll. I want to learn from the game. Instead of playing another pub, maybe I watch the replay after and I like see what I could have done better. Like yesterday, I had a nice schedule because I only played 2 games. And then the other time in my day was spent like on content or whatever. And I think I did something in real life too. And it felt really good. Like, and I think that playing less in this way, like makes me improve more as well. I just want to say, I watched the Dr. K stream where he said something where like, he said, I'm not explaining this properly. So I want you guys to listen to my message.
You use that in
my
your recent
words.
video.
And now I'm like obsessed with like, I always think about that because I thought it was really good. Like, because a lot of people in my videos, what they'll do is they'll like take the exact way I phrase something and interpret it in a way that's like technically correct. But like, if you read the fucking room, I'm cursing a lot in this episode. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's getting into me. This is not who I am.
Read the fucking room?
No, but like
Jesus, all right, dude.
I'm passionate. Like, if you just read the room, you would know that that's not what I meant. Like, if you had half of a social brain, and part of it is probably language barrier. Part of it is probably language barrier. So, like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but I had to get that out there, guys. All right, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, this related to what you said about like playing each or having not necessarily weight, but I think it's more like passion in each game.
That's part of it. That also doesn't like fully encapsulate
explain the concept. I think like, well, here I'm going to talk about that really quick before I get into what I was going to say. But I feel like I play a lot better when I'm really passionate about playing and when I have a lot of determination and competitive spirit. Because Dota is a competitive game. It's a war. It's a battle, right? If you just go into the game and you're like, I'm going to get by and farm and turn on my music too loud, then you're not going to, like, you need to compete with the enemy, right? You need to give them nothing. You need to make moves. You need to push your hero to the limits. And when I have that mental, my performance is just much better. Whereas like when I'm like, I want to cash in on some dopamine really quick and play some Dota.
Yeah.
And like,
I'm just going to hit the jungle and
I'm just going to play some Wind Ranger and I'll like shoot the power shots off. Then like I just play worse. But relating to that, and this is something that we've discussed before, is that I think that the Dota community has a big problem vilifying tryhards. I feel like tryhards or trying hard in general, it's crazy because, yeah, sure, I understand in my norms if you want to vilify the tryhards. Like, for example, me and Krabby have said this before, but we like to deafen when we play and not be in Discord. And a lot of people are off-put by that when we play norms.
They're
but
really
it's just because
they get like stun locked.
Yeah, but like, and then they like, what happens? I mean, we had a pub recently where like Krabby was deafened, and I decided to stay in disc and like
This
chat it
was the
up.
shredder stack. I'm just gonna be like, I don't care about like
Correct.
maintaining anonymity. Like, it doesn't matter if they
Yeah,
watch
we
this.
were like Krabby was muted,
I
and then they
want
were
the
all like,
people to
talking
hear
shit
this.
on Krabby.
I want the people to hear this who were like in the disc, and I thought
Yeah,
I
they were
was
just like
like,
all like,
that was
yeah,
the
you
game
were
where we
playing
got like
well.
we got shit stomped in all
Yeah,
three
we
lanes,
lost all three lanes.
and we
Like,
had
it
the
was just
piss boy
unplayable.
draft, and I thought I was
Yeah,
like
it was
trying to
unplayable.
make
It
nice
was just
moves.
it was just unplayable, and they're like, "Where's my life stealer?" And it's like, "Cause you're deafened,"
Bro,
and they're
if
like,
I
"Oh, my
wasn't
life."
there, it wouldn't make a fucking difference.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, our life stealer just wants to deafen and like draw maps on the or lines on the map." It's like that shit's like good communication, bro. Like, ain't nothing in this Discord that is good communication so far. We're just like talking shit on life stealer. Um, but I think what it is that he's tryharding and they're just vilifying him. So many people do that. Even my ranked teammates, man, vilify tryhards. Like you'll just be chatting or making a bunch of calls and people get upset at you. Um, well, damn, I wish I could have seen that shit show. No, you don't. No, you don't. It was us getting fisted for like 20 minutes, is what it
Yeah,
was.
it wasn't that entertaining.
But I really do think that like in the Dota community, a lot of people dislike tryhards, and it's not just like, oh, I think what people misinterpret what tryharding is, because like I don't think my teammates who are just like casually chilling in disc aren't trying hard, right? Or aren't doing their best. I don't think they're griefing. But relating it to like this whole like competitive drive and spirit, it's like you need to use 100% of your brain capacity. You need to be thinking about the next move. You need to be crushing the enemy, giving them nothing, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of people just like passively play. Or some people in our Discord will be in the lane and then they'll like take a screenshot of their lane and be like, just missed this last hit. It's like, bro,
Oh yeah,
like you are not trying hard enough
I don't
if you're doing
understand
that.
that.
Like,
Part of
what is
this
that?
too is like the way that people enjoy Dota is different. But
Yeah,
personally, like I'm a tryhard and I'm not ashamed of that. And like I enjoy
exactly.
Dota. Dota is like a competitive outlet for me, and like a way to appreciate like the beauty and excellence of like a beautiful game.
Yeah.
It's not really a leisure activity for me, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
it is.
I'm not prescribing
I
other
do
people
it
to
in
be
my free
tryhards,
time,
but
like
yeah. I
Dota
don't
is
think
just
anyone else needs to be a tryhard. I just think that like in the community, tryhards are very vilified. Like people don't like tryhards.
yeah.
And I didn't realize how unique it was, like how hard we try, to be honest, compared to a lot of people. But we have a couple, I forgot who said this, but somebody stacked with us and they called us like the tryhard stack.
Wasn't it the
Which is just,
communication stack?
no, that was another one.
You called us the
But
tryhard stack.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Well, I just said I don't remember, right?
Oh, I
But
see.
yeah, but
Sorry.
somebody called us the. No, you're good. But somebody called us the tryhard stack, and I just found that funny because like we play against 5 stacks who play 10 games a day, every day.
I mean, they
with the same
definitely
group.
try hard.
Yeah, but I don't. But like, well, I think it's different. I think they're trying their best, right? But I think like the way we approach it mentally and stuff is very like try
I
hard.
think the Gus Moblin stack tries hard.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I agree.
Only that stack though.
But yeah, I just think that like a lot of people don't like tryhards. Now, what you should do when it comes to
Hold on, I
tryharding,
need to fix this again. You can still talk. I might take a little break soon too, but
sure, we can take a break after this, after I finish this point. And I think this is important, guys. If you're looking to improve, you're looking to try hard, et cetera, et cetera. The key to like not being tiltable and like not just like being upset all the time is you need to be strict on yourself and you need to try hard and be lenient on everyone else, because
yeah, that's a good point.
they are tryharding. Like it's chill. It's not your place to impose that your teammates try hard or that they perform a certain way, or something like that, right? It's more like if you want to try hard, it's a personal decision. If you want to improve, it's a personal decision. So be strict on yourself and lenient on your teammates, and you'll find a lot more enjoyment playing the game that way. Because if you're strict on your teammates, which a lot of people do, this kick viewer is not pleased with you, man.
Yeah, I'll ban him soon. Don't worry.
Need some attention.
Just keep talking. It's okay.
Yeah.
And you just gave him the attention they're looking for.
Yeah, sorry. My bad. This is what you're talking about in the Discord. But the in-house leads aren't try hard. That's the thing. Like everyone's trying their best, but like that doesn't make
the in-house leagues feel more social than try hard.
They're social.
It feels like primarily like a social club.
And that's my opinion.
I feel like they're there for the Dota, but I don't know.
Like I said, I mean, I'll go into my opinion on the in-house.
We should do like in-house leagues. That'd be kind of cool for our community, like with the prize pool and stuff.
In-house is 10 minutes.
That's the thing you guys would be.
It's like
actually, I feel like we can't have a prize pool because like people just get in and like smurf it. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Here's what I think about in-houses is that, I mean, they're fun. I've played in some in-houses with some friends and stuff like that. But I think a lot of these players use it as a replacement for. This is why I don't think it's tryhard. They use it as a replacement for ranked, so they don't play ranked. And then a lot of the in-house league is like a lot of like ego and posturing about skill, where they're comparing each other to each other. And the guy who's the best mid laner in the in-house is like their overlord. Like that guy's the goat.
That's super
right? But
cringe.
is that guy the goat, or is that guy like ranked 200 in NA and sucks?
Or is Nisha
right?
the goat?
Yeah, I think Nisha's the GOAT, bro. That guy is not the GOAT, right? And so that's why I don't like the in-house leagues. In my opinion, I feel like a lot of players who play in the in-house leagues are like pacified on their improvement. And maybe that's what they want. Maybe they just want to hang out and chat and like play some in-house leagues.
Yeah.
But I'm just
going to call it out for what it is. It's crabs in a bucket holding themselves back from being the best Dota players they can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Because they're all just like, it's just like a kind of like a circle jerk of like, people comparing themselves and posturing like, no, actually, I'm the best carry in the in-house.
And what annoys us, we've talked about this before, but I feel like the people need to know about it, is that they view that as like more superior to ranked. Whereas they think ranked is like the end all be all like of your skill, in my opinion. It's a much better indicator than like some ranking and like some in-house league.
Like I said, they don't have to try hard. Nobody has to try hard. What I don't like sometimes is I feel like they use it as like a try hard replacement. Like they think that the leagues are try hard. But the leagues are like just super social and casual.
I agree. Okay, I'm going to take a little break.
Like you test your belief against the cruel reality of ranked, and that's what I like. Yeah, exactly. There's also nothing on the line, and I find that to be why I don't like non-ranked queues, is that there's just nothing on the line, right? Like it's different when everyone's playing with something on the line. That's why I like ranked.
To me.
All 10 players have stake in the game, man. They want their MMR.
Yep.
But most of the time I can't communicate with my team because of language barrier, but it's all good. You don't need to. And like, I understand like, oh, but it's a team game. Like I want to communicate, but the built-in ping system and drawing lines on the map and chat wheels, that's enough to communicate. Like
this is also something I was literally talking to my coaching student about this today, because he was saying that his team never roaches when he like calls for it. And he didn't once like just go into the pit and start hitting that shit. And that was my advice to him. Like, I will
destroy Krabby. Sorry.
Sure, dude. The idea is that your in-game body language speaks, honestly, more than like your pings and chat wheels and like voice comms. So if this guy, he's Guardian MMR or like Crusader or something, if he were to go just hit the Roshan, that's a much more aggressive and like assertive comm than like, let's go hit Rosh, guys, because it's his decision to hit the Rosh. Like, it's very, like, that, in my opinion, is the strongest form of comm, is, like, you just go hit it yourself and you ping it, and your team will follow. And I do that in 8K games, so that is my point.
Do you guys talk trash or BM tip? Nah, it's not really my thing. I think I play worse when there are stakes like that.
Yeah, certain players play better when they talk trash, and certain players
that kind of stuff takes me out of the Dota.
Play worse. Yeah, exactly. It makes me not like, present in the game.
The way, I mean, I play the best when like 100% of my like capacity, my mental capacity is focused on the Dota, and having stakes where I'm thinking like I want to win, or else like this animal SF who I tipped after killing is gonna like feel like satisfied. Like that's just stuff that I don't want to have to think about in Dota, right? Yep. Usually, if like trash talk starts in all chat, I'm the person who like mutes all 9 other players.
No shot. I've been trying that, and you get one person to come when it's half HP, and the enemy respawns and contests, wipes you, and get Aegis. So
okay, if no one's coming, you leave the pit.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is there's nuance to it. Like, it will work sometimes, and sometimes it won't work, and you can't like force it if they're responding and trying to contest. Like, you hit the scan, and then you walk out. But I for some reason, like maybe I haven't like. Maybe I don't have all the knowledge to like coach this properly, but like if I was smurfing in your MMR, my team would hit the Rosh with me 100%. 100% they would hit the Rosh with me like 90% of the time. And it's got to be something with like my game body language, the way I'm communicating, that some of my students aren't doing.
I think we've discussed this a million times, but people don't like being told what to do right in the moment, right? If you want to Rosh and you're like, Rosh, everyone Rosh right now, Rosh. Like, ain't nobody coming to the pit,
they like
right?
plans. And I tell my students that too. Like, as you're pushing the tower, you type Rosh on after.
We could do Rosh after. Or say, like, I did that play, or something. Like, Rosh is bot. Let's play for Rosh, right? Something like that. Like,
yeah, like incept them with the idea before.
Yeah, you want to give them the information so they can make their own decision to go to the Rosh pit. Here's another thing that we had a really interesting experience where we were playing with a Pudge, and I told this guy to slight chains hook. And I was on his nuts because this guy didn't slight chains hook after coming mid like 5 or 6 times.
This was so insightful.
And I like started going in on him. I'm like, dude, just fucking wait for the chains. Like, why don't you want to wait for the chains? Explain to me why you don't want to wait for the chains. And he goes, because if I wait for the chains and then hook, it feels like I didn't do anything. Okay. People don't like to synergize or be told what to. This is literally like
is the epitome of what's wrong with the
200.
Dota
By the way,
community.
this guy is like literally ranked.
He was
200.
ranked 200.
Yes,
but he was joking, but like it wasn't a joke.
No, it was not a joke. And so
like,
I think
he said it in a bantering way, but that's why he waited.
Yeah. Like if you tell someone to Roche and then they run into the Roche pit and take Roche, it feels like they didn't do their play. But if you say we're going to play bottom for Roche, and then your team just like after taking the tower or winning a team fight, they were like incepted with like, I'm going to play for Roche. And then no, he did build Rod, or he did build an Atos, but I have the Atos in my kit already. You don't need the Atos, man. I got Atos on my hero. But yeah, so if you like tell them like we're gonna play bot for Roche, and then you guys win a team fight, now your team is making their own decision. Like, oh shit, like we just won a team fight. We were playing for Roche. Let's go Roche, right? And so by doing that, they feel like they make their own play, their own decision, and they like that a lot more. Like people just don't like being told what to do.
It's a spectrum, right? So it's like if you just like ping the Roche, that's less of aggressive of a call than saying like Roche guys, like come to Roche right now.
Yeah, they still think they made a decision if you like.
I think the other thing, and a big part of the reason for Sonder, like why because I'm like 100% confident that people would go to the Roche most of the time if I was smurfing. I think it's because I would have like earned calls. So there's this concept we talked about with Albino Zebra where like if you make a good call and people listen to it and it goes well, you like earn calls for yourself for the future. So that's part of it too. Also, I would be like 10-0 probably by that point. And so like when people like see the big kill streak, they're more likely to listen to you if they like know you're doing well. So all these things kind of come together. Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I really liked emphasizing, just to go back to people talking about communicating with their team, is that we've discussed this many times, but people really underestimate, just like in real life, there's a lot more to communication than just literally what you say, right? It's how you say it. It's nonverbal communication. And in Dota, it's like chat wheels, pings, lines you can draw on the map. It's not just like what you say.
Because a lot of people say it is huge. I've been like calling people out recently for that in general. I think I called you out for it a few days ago too. Because it's like you can, and this not like you personally. I'm not going to go into that.
I was playing Invoker and I was probably giving my team an earful.
But like my point is
the runes.
People can defend themselves. Like for example, my student today was like defending himself by saying that he did tell his team to go to the Roche pit. But I'm lacking so much information. Like I don't know if he was like whining, right, or like complaining.
Guys, Roche already. Ain't nobody Rocheing.
It really matters how you say things, and also what I said before about like earning comms. But I mean, this how you say things point applies to anything. Yeah.
Like that's the most important thing is how you say it, because like people will be like, "Oh, I called for the Roche," but that's not enough, or like that's not the full story. Yeah, how you say it is way more important. And when I say things,
saying it like
when I say things inflammatory or like tilted and people don't listen, in the back of my head I know that I'm being a piece of shit and they're also not going to listen. Like I'm not surprised when I'm like, check the runes already, guys. Oh, we're all so dumb. Can anyone check the runes?
You're kind of just protecting your ego.
Yeah, when I say that,
clear that your game is hard.
To be honest, when I say that, like I'm pretty confident no one's coming to the next rune.
And you've done that to me. All right, let's talk about this because I think this is going to be cathartic for me. So I went through a support arc recently, and Pine was mid, and we lose our mid tower, and he would whine for me to come mid, but like on my screen, just looking at what's literally happening in the Dota, it would be really, really hard for me to like just casually go mid and help him with runes. And recently, I'm glad you came to this realization because you said like, yeah, if the mid tower is gone, it is actually really hard to contest runes unless, you brought up a good point. It has to be like a decisive move with smoke and a ward. But like you can't just go there casually. Like it just is hard.
You're just getting this off your chest. No, you're just getting this off your chest.
Like, bro, you whine at me like every game when our mid tower's gone. I ain't coming to that shit.
Well, listen, I would whine at you if the mid tower. Well, here the thing is, I would whine at you if the mid tower was there too. I would just whine at everyone.
Yeah, but I go there when the mid tower's there.
Yeah, that's true. What's our main position? I play mid. He plays carry.
Yeah,
but I'm good at all roles. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, I fill.
I had a fill experience recently that made me want to.
Oh no!
do bad things. I forget what it was though. Like somebody was saying they're fill player.
I'm pretty sure it was when we were playing with the shredder stack and someone said they could fill, but like
That's
you
what
didn't.
it was.
No,
That's
and
what
you
it
didn't
was.
say anything. I was gonna crack it up.
I was gonna go off on that guy. Like,
I know, because he said that you were like trying to organize the roles. Like, hey guys, what roles do you want to play? I want to play like 1 or 3. If Axe is unbanned, I'll play 3. And then I was like, yeah, like I actually really want to play support right now. I want to practice support. If this guy goes, yeah, like I don't really have a main role. I can just play any of the roles. Like I don't really care. And then like it was like silent. Radio silent, and I was just like smiling to myself, like because I wanted to see if you were gonna like go off, but I could tell that like it wasn't the environment for it.
No, I mean that was my first time like
terrible.
meeting this guy. I'm not gonna like do that. Maybe I should have actually. In retro, I probably should have. Like that's something I'm trying to do as well as like just expressing myself more authentically, like in the world. Like
it depends how it also depends how you say it. You could be like that's not like a good practice, or you could be like you're probably terrible. Like right? If you say like you're probably terrible, he's not gonna appreciate it.
Yeah. I could make some joke about like all fill players.
You could play no roles actually, which is the truth.
Pine's AA is the kill sniper.
Dude, I like the pawn promote bit. I got promoted to the queen when I stole the kill.
All right.
No,
anything you want to talk about in the main episode before? We're kind of getting into the Q&A now, which is fine.
It's basically
we recorded for like 50 minutes.
I like what we talked about.
All right, guys. This is the official transition to the Q&A. So the YouTube session is ending here. Oh, no, I should do it for the outro. That's kind of sick. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm really excited.
Whoa, you're right.
Hello?
Okay, hello. Yes, you're back.
I'm really excited for the future of the podcast and my YouTube channel. For all of you guys on my YouTube live stream, go subscribe to the main podcast channel where we post like the official edited chopped up episodes. And yes, I forget if I said this or not, but they'll be on Spotify and Apple Music. Starting from this episode going forward, the music's so good. Oh, is this Fatty's first time hearing it?
You didn't hear it at the
we were playing it in the beginning.
Music is so good.
But yeah, guys. So thank you for all the appreciation. Every like, every comment. I just want to say like goes a really long way, for me because I work hard on all this stuff, and if I want to like continue doing it, I need it to get out there. So every like really helps me. We're going to be doing a Q&A for a little bit on stream. So if you guys don't want to miss that for the YouTube people, be here in the next live stream and we'll answer your questions.
And we're going to be more consistent with our stream and timing. I was away, but I'm back. So
yeah, every Sunday,
10 a.m. PST.
Yeah, thank you guys. See you in the next episode.
Yeah, go out there, guys. Defend your ancient and be a hero.